Press subscribe and press the bell icon for the notification of the updates on our channel.
Cricket was my oxygen. For me, I was born and brought up in the lanes of Mumbai. The local train was an integral part of my life. My earlier memory takes me back when I used to travel as a 13-year-old boy. You would probably relate to that. Carrying 15 kgs of bag in the rush hours of Mumbai, boarding a train at Dombivli. It wasn't easy. Trust me, it is still not easy. But the part which I learned when I was traveling as a stranger, people would come and offer their help. People will come and support a boy who wants to work hard, live his passion, want to make a career or do something in cricket, would help me put my bag into the train closet. But more importantly, allow me to board that train at Dombivli early in the morning and help me be comfortable so that I could be fresh for my practice or for my matches. That community help made me understand the reality. A stranger can offer a help and make you feel comfortable in your most difficult phases. And I believe when you want something with all your heart, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. As cliche it sounds, it was true. And it was something that I resonate with every single day. For me, my parents were the most important part of my support, my inspiration, which allowed me to pursue my passion, pursue my dream of playing cricket. My mother would wake me up 4 o'clock in the morning. She would make sure that she prepares a breakfast so that I don't go empty stomach for my practice. She would keep the milk ready for me so that I have everything what I need to focus on the job on the hand for me. That was my learning, that was my lesson. Every parent do they can, but to allow a child to come out of the comfort zone and try and live that passion was something special. And I have a very high regards for allowing me to do that. My parents, they pushed me hard, made me realize to achieve that 1%er. What I always call it, that 1% is important to go for that extra mile, which helps me understand, which helps us realize the goals. Coming from a middle class and a humble background, I didn't have the luxury of having a good fortune of traveling by car, used to go by train, and I used to get about 10 rupees as a pocket money. 10 rupees in those days was big, not now. But 10 rupees is a pocket money to survive for a week. What were my options? Very limited. So I would probably try and save that 10 rupee, which could become useful for me when I need it the most. So I would walk from VT station to Wankhede to make sure that I don't take bus or taxi, share taxi, and save that 10 rupee, which helped me learn that these savings could become useful when you need it the most. And as a true Mumbaikar or traveling as the common man, I would end up indulging into a pav bhaji or a vada pav or a burji pav, which will help me fill my stomach when I need it the most. Because every day was a struggle. And every day was something which I learned from my parents to sacrifice. These learnings stayed with me and made me realize that the goals I'm setting with the help of my parents and family, I need to make sure that I can give more than 100%. The time came when my mentor, my coach, Sir Frank Tyson, made me realize one thing, the importance of discipline. I was once late by 10 minutes for a practice session because I missed a train. And as luck would have it, he made me not practice for 3 days, but he asked me to come for practice and not participate. That made me realize the importance of being disciplined. Discipline is a simple word which commonly gets used, and in lot of times we actually say that chalta hai na, 10 hi minute ho gaye. But for me, that taught me a lesson of life. To be disciplined, to respect your time and respect somebody else's time. And that lesson is something which I feel should be part of your daily practice. And it makes you realize the importance and start valuing the other times. Because there is no substitute for all these offerings, what you learn on the field. Cricket gave me everything, all the lessons. But the lesson I learned as part of this has become an integral part of my identity, the word discipline. For me, that I'll take away till I breathe last. Then came the time of all the hard work I had put in on the cricketing field, in practice sessions, playing matches. I was rewarded to be called to represent Team India. And probably the proudest feeling of my life, when you see this picture, life becomes easy. Life was so good for me. The highs and the lows and the vagaries of cricket offers you so many different challenges. And in my first test match itself, I experienced that. And one of my peers said once, on a lighter note, if you're lucky like Nilesh Kulkarni, you get a wicket on the first ball in test cricket. Wow, fantastic feeling. The world is at your feet. You feel that, boss, this is easy. You belong here. Life is so easy. First ball wicket in test cricket. What else can you ask for? But the reality hit me that time. For the next 3 days, I was trying to chase the leather to get another wicket. And I wasn't lucky. I didn't get a wicket. The reality hit me. The highs and the lows which cricket offers you or the sport teaches you, I was experiencing it firsthand in my first test match as an international player. The reality sports makes you realize, to make you humble, to make you grounded, to make you have that sense what you should do. I was fortunate to have a decent career. I'm grateful, no regrets at all. But what I learned is something which will stay with me, because that's something which is extremely important for all of us, to have an understanding what you learn on the field. Then came the time, after having a decently successful career in life, that what should I do? The difficult question as a cricketer you face, what next? The most important phase of your life, or probably the toughest part of your life, is to announce your retirement. I was reaching to that stage at the age of 34. Imagine, at the age of 34, you are retiring. The word retirement associates with you in sport. In no other profession offers you that kind of a opportunity. You start your career at the age of 34 because you've gone through the ranks of all the hard work, be it medicine, engineering, management. You have all that possibilities of learning, gaining the experience, and you start your career. I had to take a decision of retiring. What do I do? What are my options? Shall I get in coaching? Shall I do something else? Commentary, administration, maybe, may not be. I had to make a decision. That's when I was frustrating. I was thinking about what can I achieve? What can I do? We decided to introduce India's first sports management institute, International Institute of Sports Management. It wasn't easy because that was something out of the box. That was something which was unheard of India context. And for me, that became my passion. For me, that became my life. For me, that became my next goal after cricket. For me, that was something I felt that I relate to, and I believe that I could contribute in that fashion. All the lessons which I learned as a player on the field, leadership, strategies, analysis, crisis management, problem solving, team building, self-assessment, all these jargons, we always listen into our workplace. All these jargons we are taught in the class. I was fortunate to learn it on the field. And the culmination of that is a success. The failure is an integral part of it. But more importantly, these were the jargons which I heard when I started applying that into my workplace. When you're a junior player, you would closely observe all your seniors and understand, try and learn how they are handling these situations, how are they trying to come up with a solution for these particular problems. When I became a senior, I started realizing it far more. And then when I introduced my own institute, IISM, that's when I started applying it as well. Fortunately, it has helped me a lot. You need to realize the most important part is all the lessons what you learn is what to apply when and how is extremely critical. The opportunities in sport is huge. Currently, the curve is shifting big. The opportunities are on offer, are tremendous for all of us to grab. Looking at these opportunities, sport gives you huge career. But currently, the situation for our younger generation is very, very critical. The way I look at it, because of the critical problem we are facing. More than 20% of our youth is suffering from obesity, diabetes, hypertension, depression. It's a big concern. The sole reason for that is they've not been active in sport. They've not been active on the field, participating in sport. That's where I feel the opportunity lies. That's where I feel we could all make a career, contribute. You could come from a medicine background, you could come from an engineering background, you could come from a management background. It does not matter. The opportunity will give you that. Government of India have come up with fantastic initiatives supporting these thoughts. They have introduced national games, intensified the competition. One of the key introduction by Government of India is Khelo India, youth games. For me, that's a standout initiative which allows the community to come together. The participation from first Khelo India to second Khelo India have seen a huge shift. They had about 11, 12 disciples sport, introduced to about 18, had more than 10,000 participants who played or participated in Khelo India. But for me, the opportunity lies behind the scene as well. As much as athletes will go out and perform on the field, there were more than 5,000 people who worked tirelessly to make that event a huge success. I see that as an opportunity in this particular field. It's a multidimensional field. It offers diverse experiences, but it gives you immense satisfaction. For me, that word is very, very important when you love this sport, when you love the profession. I think this is where the execution of large-scale events can offer round of opportunities for you. I feel India is a very new country when it comes to sport as compared to the world, because it's about 11, 12-year-old. India had the first annual property in form of IPL, and that's when the business of sport triggered off in this country. Out of 1.3 billion population we have, the overseas company got a contract to execute large-scale event like IPL. But since the inception of IPL, India has seen a huge shift of having more than 13 to 14 annual properties in sport. For me, that's where the opportunity lies. And apart from leaving apart the IPL, the rest all leagues are being managed by Indian people with the domain expertise. I see that as an opportunity. As I said earlier, you could come from a diverse background, but you could still make a successful career if you have a love for the sport, if you have a passion for sport. This is where it shifts in India context. This is where it makes a huge contribution. This is where the opportunity lies. Sports offers you this. Looking at some stats, you will be astonished to know that this is a FICCI report which says, even if you are to discount it by 50%, to create that kind of a manpower requires a monumental task by institutions to produce that kind of a talent. But for me, here's an opportunity for all of you and for all of us to look at it positively. Look at it in a different way. I would like to relate one key component, which I mentioned in the graph before, is a failure. Failure is not such a bad thing in our life. We look at it negatively, but I look at it positively. Purely because failure teaches you a lot of things. They'll teach you life lessons. They teach you how to bounce back from failures. They make you realize what needs to be done. Introspect, understand, analyze. All these critical part needs to be taught. If you talk about the percentage success of the best in the business of sport who are actively playing, and I mean the best in the business, their success ratio is not more than 25%. That sounds a little scary. But if you look at it, their ability to bounce back from that 75% and learn from the mistakes, analyze it, understand, and then challenge yourself to better it, makes them into that 25% bracket. For me, that's a huge, huge learning. If you start applying that, that gives you an edge to beat your opponent, that gives you an edge to be that 25% person. Because that's a valuable lesson for all of us to learn. That is something which will always separate you from the average to the best. And I believe that if you know your strength, that is your asset. But if you know your weakness, that's your strength. And that, I believe, is an idea worth spreading. Enjoy the journey. Thank you.